What up, people? We in substance use. I tell you, I keep it raw as I can. I'm with my cousin Ken.
What's up, y'all?
He grew up right here. We was born, well, he was born right up in here. We on Vivian. Some of y'all know what this is, Walnut Park, really the heart of Walnut Park. This was considered back in the day Walnut Park West, more the working class side. But he was a baby or right after when we moved over here in 71. And I guess what shocked me with it when I was having a conversation with him, before I even go there, Chicago, Texas, Houston, Atlanta, and now you're in the Bay Area. I'm gonna give it up to his people, hogs and dogs. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna give it up to his people, right?
Yeah.
I was having a conversation with him, just talking about how old we were when we started doing stuff, and I'm gonna be totally honest. It hit me about a month ago that I was drinking at like 15 and 16 right here. I can remember passing around 32-ounce cups of Carlos Rossi and rum and coke. Wouldn't smoke back then, but I was drinking, and it blew my mind that I didn't know that I was drinking. But also, like I've stated before, hell, I was an alcoholic, but I had not had a drink in 11 years before I even realized that I used to be an alcoholic, right? But after having a conversation with him, I remember we lived in Chicago. Was it on the west side? The project?
Yeah, west side project.
We stayed out west in the project with 12th floor. I remember going to, what was it, Medill Elementary School. And when I was talking, you told me like you was smoking weed then.
8 or 9.
8 or 9, man, that blew my mind because it was like I first get clients that tell me they didn't sound real. And you say that when you started, your mom would be smoking with a friend of hers and you be down.
She'll be downstairs at her friend's house smoking, and me and my friend will be in his house smoking joints.
Man, 8 or 9 years. Were y'all still in joints then?
I don't know where he had got it from, but yeah, we come up with it and we would smoke, and he would go down to his house and smoke, or he'd come up till we go outside or wherever we go. But we was smoking at that young age.
So if you think about, and that's like that trial stage when you just testing it, you playing around. How old do you think you were when I call it smoking on purpose, when you decided I'm finna go get some weed, not just to go down to somebody's house because they have weed, but like when you realized that I smoke for real?
I was young.
Go ahead.
I was young. I can't really remember the exact age, but I know I started at 9, but I've been smoking since then. I guess as I turned 14, 15 is when I started really going to try to buy it and smoking it on my own, really just out with it then. So probably about 13, 14 when I was buying it.
You want some lemonade? Lemonade. About 14, 15 when you was buying it, but you was smoking constantly though. That's just about how you were when you started buying it.
Yeah. 14. 15 is when I got my first girl pregnant. So by then I was smoking.
Oh, you had been smoking.
I was smoking water, PCP, all that. Really on that water about that time. 15.
What made you jump off into the water?
Well, me and my buddy, my friend Buster, we used to sell a little bit of it, and he was smoking.
Out west?
Yeah, out west. And then I just started, let me try. Before you know it, we smoking water like it was the normal thing, 3, 4, 5 of them a day. And that was some powerful
I remember
stuff.
you was doing that, but that's when you was hanging in Wellston mostly then, you and Buster.
Yeah.
And I wasn't around much when you was around, but that's when you start hanging out west. Now, here's what's odd to me. I can remember you started hustling. You had to be maybe 16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
I want to say 16. That's when you kind of hit me to crack. You started telling me about crack, and you was hanging out west then. I'll never forget, you took me. That just was real crazy. Our birthdays, we had another cousin. Our birthdays, the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd of July. I'm the 22nd, he the 23rd, and Mook is the 21st. Now, I'm 2 years older than him, 3 years older than Mook. This was real crazy. At 18, I'll never forget, I was selling weed. As we found the weed, and I found the weed in the house. I'm finna 7. Yeah. I found trash bags of weed in the house. I'm still in pounds. My mother never knew it. But when you was hustling, what made you fall off into that? I mean, what was exciting about that lifestyle that made you just see it, move in it, and get stuck there? Because at this time, we thought your dad was a cop.
Yeah.
Right? We thought your dad was a police officer. I remember asking police officers about that.
Right.
So what made you fall off into that? Being that in your head, you thought your dad was a police officer.
Well, my mama was messing with a dude, and him and his people was selling. His people was real big, and so going with my mama, hanging out with my mama a little bit, and the guy, he put me on to his cousin, and from there, at 16, I was on. He put me on a set, told me what to do, how much money they wanted back, and what I needed to do, and that was it. I went on from there at 16. I was going to the clubs and the bars with my mother and her dude, and that's where it went from there. Him and I started smoking dips together on a regular, so that's how I started at 16 on the west side.
I remember that. I remember you. Then that's what's crazy. I'm 18. I remember you had to get me in the club. I was like, this is so messed up. My little girls got to talk to people like me.
Yeah.
Well, if you could say when you realized, okay, or did you ever realize this is a problem? I'm smoking too much, or the thought of I'm spending money on it when I didn't used to.
No, never. That never hit my head ever until I guess I was in the last 5 or 6 years that I sometimes think about how much money I'm spending, or the money about spending on weed, drugs, or whatever. But that back in